All right, what's going on, guys? It's Vilify here. Today we're going to be going ahead and taking a look at the Red Zone Broly mission, specifically the one to beat it in 8 turns. Now, this one is, I don't really know how to describe it, right? Like, it seems pretty easy, but at the same time, it can be deceptively hard, right? Like, you requires RNG, the AoE phase is like one you just kind of got to truck through, and you kind of just need, like, overall, like, that really good luck just to kind of have all the right pieces fall into place to get it done in 8 turns, right? So I think like one of the benchmarks for me is like, you know, it's a good run when you take care of phase 1 in 1 turn. And that is the case on this run where we just go ahead and truck right through the first phase. So, you know, keeping Broly sealed is helpful so you don't really take that much damage. And then making sure you kind of just tank your way through the double AoE, or just the AoE rather. I'd say double Whis your way through the AoE. That's personally how I did it. I've seen some people use nuking items to kind of just nuke Broly. If you're on JP, you can use Pan. She ends up being really useful in here, but overall, it's just kind of one of those situations where you just don't know what you're going to get, right? And that appears to be the case, and that's just like what makes this a specific run tricky. So you guys can see here that my LR gods decided to triple super right here. Or not my LR gods, but the friend support LR gods. Shout out to the guy that had them rainbowed. Built fully additional. He had 2 silver, a gold level 5, and then a bronze level 2. So that guy went full additional. He did it the right way. And you'll see that my Super Saiyan 4s are also built with like 30 additional or whatever. So they're going to be getting their double supers off. They're going to be getting their triple supers off. And then it just comes down to the wire, as they always do with these limited runs. It comes down to turn 8, but you know, by the time we reach turn 8, we already know we won. So just kind of talking about the floating units here, it should be pretty obvious how we're running this. We're running Carnival Goku on rotation after the AoE portion, but we're running Carnival Goku with the gods, and then we are running Super Saiyan 4 as a floater, and the STR Super Saiyan 4 is there to kind of deal that additional big boy damage to finish off a phase, right? Because I tried this with Int Broly, and it just was not working in my favor. I just could not seem to figure it out for the life of me, just had to get it right. So Int Broly just was not finishing off the enemy fast enough, and I was like, why don't we just bring STR Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta with that very powerful active skill to kind of butter up a phase or two, or just one phase rather, you can only do it once, but and then Super Saiyan 4 Goku is the same thing, where he is just there to absolutely shred the AoE phase, so we have nothing to worry about when it comes time for the AoE. We want to use his active skill to just get out of that turn as quick as possible, and we also have to hope that the AoE does not hit when we don't have damage reduction. So that's why we double Whis, and the only way we're going to get through this is if we do if we get rid of the AoE in 2 turns, right? Because if you go into the last phase of Broly and it's turn 7, unless you have some super god luck with crits and all that, there's just a good chance you're not going to get out of there by the end of turn 8. I think we go into that phase on turn 6, and it still takes us to the second attack in turn 8 to get it done. And in my opinion, this run was really well done with RNG. Like, we got super, super lucky throughout most of this, right? And that's what it comes down to. I'd say, like, obviously it is possible without, like, the perfect RNG. There's probably a couple things that could go my way, or could have went my way that didn't. But overall, you know, you guys are seeing it on the screen here. The guys are going to triple super again right here. So that's 3 turns in, I think, and we're already 6 supers deep. So that is like the telltale that this run is going my way, obviously, because we're already hitting for 9.4 million on them in their god phase, right? And that's harder than my blue duo hits in their blue phase. So overall, I'd say that this run was pretty good. You know, what's important at the same time too is that you got to get those nullifications, right? So I guess what we could do is kind of run through a couple different team builds that I've seen so far. Just kind of ways that people have done it, right? Obviously, if you're on JP, you could try and get away with the bond of parent and child team, and low-key, you could probably bang out this mission with all types at the same time too, right? Like with the Omega Shenron one you guys saw in my video, if you watched it, we ran just the straight-up GT Heroes team, and we had Trunks and Giru on there for their support. But right here is where things start to get technical. You can see here we've got Carnival Goku in slot 1. We've got the blue duo out. We're going to get Gogeta out. And then we really have to be careful about how we choose this, right? So we are going to go ahead and double Whis right here. Just like, why even risk it for the biscuit? There's too many attacks in slot 3. If there was, you know, the AoE wasn't going to hit like before that, I probably would have been able to get away with 1 Whis, but I was just like, you know what, forget about it. Let's just go double. Like, let's not even play around. There's absolutely no chance we die from the AoE, and I believe if we were to have thrown one of the 7-year units in slot 1, we would have nullified the AoE. I could be wrong though, because this 18 key would have, yeah, it would have nullified the AoE, but I don't think we would have been able to get the orbs in order to do that anyway. So I think because we got this run done, so you guys can see this, we made the right play, but you know, it's just one of those situations where you just kind of got to play it by ear. You are risking it for the biscuit with this AoE 99% of the time. If it hits before the blue duo or the or Gogeta does their attack, you're dead, right? Especially without a Whis, like they're just straight up dead. So like maybe the blue duo after a triple super might be able to do it, but the Gogeta is just like without any damage reduction, it's just flat out dead. You need to get those rainbow orbs for the damage reduction, so it's very tough to pull that off in one run, like continuously, and like just to get it done successfully, right? But hey, you know, you guys are seeing this, so it is done. You know, if we had gotten the 18 key there, who knows? But you can see here I'm feeling pretty comfortable, as I know that like it's gonna take a lot of like BS for this to not go in our favor right here, to like knock it out of this turn. Like he's already got 1 bar health left, and we've got these 3 all attacking. So at this point, I'm feeling pretty good about where we're at. I'm like, okay, it's turn 5. We're gonna go into the AGL Broly phase on Fate, and what's it called? In stage 2, or on turn 6. So we have 3 turns to get it done. And when you see the blue duo's attack stat, it's like, oh, okay, we're definitely gonna get this done within 3 turns, right? Because it's like butter them up in the first phase on turn 6, and then turn 7, let the blue duo go to work to kind of like get him all the way down, and then finish him off with the last setup with Carnival Goku and the other blue duo, right? So we're just kind of taking advantage of how well the LR gods perform in here. You'll see that throughout the video, or throughout this run right here. This is where the luck comes in, right? Because at this point, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta is not protected. There is no damage reduction. The only way he's getting his defense up is on that 18 key super attack, right? Or on both super attacks, right? But you get that like that greatly raise on the 18 key. So that's how you're going to end up staying alive. We get that right there. So we get the 18 keys. So we get a nullification. So as long as we don't take any supers in the wrong spots, we basically have this on lock. Carnival Goku is tanking very well with the type advantage. He's going to be hitting around almost 8 million there, 7.7. Decently stacked up. I really haven't been checking defense, but it's like once you've kind of played these events so many times, you kind of get a feel for how they are. And it's like it's either you know they can tank or you know they can't tank. And with this point with Carnival Goku, I'm feeling pretty confident. And also, you don't want to throw the blue duo in slot 1, right? Like they take a super right here, we're dead. So, you know, Carnival Goku's got that guard. 200k is very respectable from that super. It is a very hard-hitting super attack. Like that's what God Goku takes against Cell Max, right? And Cell Max is just like literally 0.01% of the game can survive that super attack, right? Maybe even less. It might be like 0.001% of the game can survive that super attack. Like I don't know how many units in the game can tank it. I really don't off the top of my head. So, you know, this super attack is one of those two where it's a very small percentage of the game that can tank that super attack without dying. So that's just one of the cases right here. Now, we're going to be rolling into turn 7 right here, and this is where the Omega mission differs, because with Omega, it's 3 phases, so you get 7 turns. With this one, it's 4 phases, so I guess they decided to be nice and give us 8. If we had to do 7 turns, we'd be in trouble, because, like, look at the HP. We barely even did any of that turn, but what I know is that we have my blue duo, or the friend blue duo is built up. Like, they had 6 supers before they transformed. They're hitting for 2.44 million right there on the attack stat alone. And then my Gogeta is going to go ahead and have his 24 key as well. So at this point, I'm feeling very confident in where we're at. It's just kind of sketchy on that end slot with all those attacks on Gogeta. That's where I'm kind of nervous, where I'm like, I don't know if this is going to work. Yeah, so things did get a little bit spicy right there. But boom, right there, we go ahead and get that attack. And then again, another 11.3 right here. So if our gods triple super, we're looking really good for next turn. If Gogeta triple supers, we're looking really good for next turn. So right there, there's 1. Then we know we get the guaranteed second one for 8 million. Very high attack stat, very good stuff. Then I don't remember if we get one more. And I think this next attack is a normal. No, we just don't get one. Okay. Yeah, so right there, you know, 8 million attack stat on an additional super is really, really good. So then Gogeta's going to go ahead and nullify what could have been maybe the second super, but or the super on this turn, because I'm thinking he didn't super God Goku, he didn't super the blue duo, he's going to super Gogeta and ruin this perfect run that we've had up to this point. But nonetheless, it doesn't happen. So I think we walk out of here with full HP, or very close to it, because Gogeta gave us a triple super right there. And so I'm thinking like, okay, maybe he can survive the super. Maybe. I don't think so, but there's a chance. So at this point, I'm thinking, all right, we got it. You know, like I'm safe with the blue duo, especially after we do their active skill. Broly's going to be down to like a bar of health. So I'm feeling really confident at this point now because, you know, we have Carnival Goku. We don't have his active skill, but we didn't even need his revival or anything like that. Like you guys can see, we are just cooking. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off the skip active skill, but I didn't do the audio. My Elgato's having a couple issues, and sometimes the audio was a little bit late. It would have just looked really wonky in post. So are you going to go ahead? I'll let you see Gogeta, right? There you go. And boom, he's doing his thing. Let's go ahead and see this active skill real quick. Boom, bam, bap, ba, 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 boom, right? Look at him go. My boy's cooking. Ah! And then he's, there you go. So that's 6 million right there to Broly. And then, you know, Carnival Goku with a crit could finish it, but I don't think he does. And the blue duo ends up getting us the kill. So, you know, that was 8 turns. That's how you do it in 8 turns. You can see that it's, I took a screenshot just to show it's like we got him, we won. But, it just kind of comes down to how the RNG goes in your favor. As is the case with most of these small runs, especially in a difficult event like this Red Zone. But that's all I really got for you in this one. I think that, you know, you guys can assess if you watch this. Like, here's the team that you can use to beat it in 8 turns. You just need the RNG. So here's the blueprint, right? But there you go. That's Broly in 8 turns. That's all I got for you in today's video. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you are new. Turn on notifications so you don't miss out when I post Dokkan content like this. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you for watching. I'm out.